My guest today is Maddie McElrath, a very impressive young business owner who owns her own bakery called Doing It Right. In this episode, we talk about her journey from bussing tables at the age of 15 to owning her own house at the age of 20. Very impressive. Maddie also shares with us the challenges of running a small business, like getting customers into the door, the food cost, and all the other challenges that face business owners. She also discussed with us the happy feeling about owning her own business. Let's chop it up with Maddie.
So it only cost me $110 per dog for the shots.
There you go.
So
But how many dogs do you have?
3.
3.
So that's per year, like $330.
There you go.
And then their monthly $20 heartworm medicine.
Gotcha.
But
And you say you're not going to get more dogs?
hell no, I don't ever want another dog again. My last dog, she's like a little pit bull and she's crazy.
You have a pit bull? So you have a pit bull. What kind of dogs you have? Pit bull and what else?
A pit bull, a German shepherd, and then like a cattle dog and bulldog mix.
How old is the German shepherd?
4.
So he's a big boy already.
Yeah, he's like 110 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bigger than Theo?
He's like twice Theo's size.
What color?
He is, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Let's see, he's right here.
Oh, wow.
He's like gray.
He's like one of your Puran dog, huh? The police dog?
Yeah, but he doesn't act like them at all.
Gotcha.
He's like a big baby. No, it's bad.
Is he?
He,
You spoiled him. That's what it is.
well, my other dogs aren't like that though. Like Rue is half his size. She's only 40 pounds, the pit bull,
Uh-huh.
and she will attack him.
Wow.
He'll just sit there. He tries to run in circles to get away from her because he doesn't know what else to do.
Yes, indeed. Maddie. Well, thank you for being here, Maddie. Appreciate you coming. Madison, you graduated at an early age, didn't you?
I did.
How old you were?
I just graduated in May, so I was 21.
Gotcha, 21. What you graduated with?
Bachelor's in business.
Bachelor in business. So, Maddie, you started in restaurant business. You worked in restaurant business here and there, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. What was your first job ever?
Bussing tables at Bobby Aver's.
It was at Bobby's?
That was at Bobby's, yeah.
Okay. How old were you?
15.
Okay. So you started at Bobby's, bussing tables. What was your next move?
Smoothie King.
Smoothie King.
Yeah.
Then after that, what you did at Smoothie King?
I lied. Papa John's for like 3 months, but I couldn't stand the pizza smell. I came home smelling like pizza and onions. It was fun, but it was hot with those ovens, and the smell was awful. But Smoothie King, we made smoothies, cleaned, helped customers. It wasn't too hard of a job.
No.
No.
You know, so you are pretty young. You are in the very early 20s. I'm not even going to say how old you are, but you are in the very early 20s. You own your own house, you own your own car, and you own your own business. How does it feel?
It feels great.
It feels great. How old were you when you bought your house?
20. I just turned 20.
20 years old. Was it difficult?
Yes. And
Walk us through the steps. What did you do?
First I had to get my credit up because I was kind of ignorant to that aspect of it. So we had a lender who kind of walked me through everything that I had to do. Then I got my credit up. Took about 6 months to build that report. I mean, I had a little bit of a credit history, but nothing significant. And she kind of taught me how to use credit a little better to get it to a higher score. And then I had to apply for a down payment assistance program because I didn't have a huge down payment. So she showed me these programs that you could do in like suburban areas. There's certain areas that you can use a down payment assistance program. So I applied for that, but that's a waiting process. Then you had to wait another 3 months. So it was probably 8-9 months of like getting approved first. And then...
And you were actively looking at different properties as you were waiting?
Yeah. It wasn't it was a pretty slow time in the market, I feel like, so houses weren't going as fast. So we found the house that we wanted probably a month before we knew we could do anything with it, and it was still there.
That's awesome.
So
So here you are. You bought your first house at age of 19, almost 20. You said.
I had just turned 20, so we bought the house in December. My birthday is the end of October.
So you just made 20 and you bought your first house. Then after that, you decided to open up your own business.
I did.
So that's why we're here today, to talk about how amazing it is to own your own business and how hard it is to own your own business.
Yeah, it's harder than I could have ever anticipated. I know.
Repeat that statement one more time, because a lot of people underestimate being a business owner.
It was harder than I ever anticipated. I know you told me a lot how hard it was going to be, but I don't think you really understand how hard it's going to be until...
You're in it.
Yeah, no, you never do. I mean, I underestimated it a lot, but I'm glad I'm here.
What makes it so hard to own a business? Walk me through the steps. You know, you found the location, obviously. Walk me through the steps. Why you thought it was easy and why it turned out to be so hard. And obviously, it's not. It's still hard now. You know, it's not easy, but it's a little bit easier than a couple of months ago. And as you go on, it's getting a little bit easier, but it's a lot harder than what people think, right? Walk me through the process. Walk me through things that you didn't even think you have to do.
Well, it's my first business, so there was things like, I mean, I was educated on it slightly, but there was permits and health permits and other permits that you have to get, business insurance that you have to look up. So that was probably the first month of just construction, planning, figuring out like a blueprint for all your equipment was difficult for me because it's just trying to figure out where everything is. Well, thank God, you know, we had you to help with that because my couple plans were not too fit. But yeah, I mean that was the first couple months just trying to figure out where everything was gonna go.
So the blueprint, the insurance, things that you didn't know about and you learned as you went.
Yeah.
You know, funny, I had somebody who I know called me about a month ago, like, look, I'm about to open my own business. I'm like, okay, congratulations. And I asked him how much the rent. And he told me how much the rent. I said, okay, how much you paying in insurance? He said, insurance? I don't need insurance. He said, I'm buying a business. I'm like, yeah, you need insurance for your business. I said, how about the lease? Do you pay property tax? You don't pay property? Like, he had no idea. So a lot of people get in business not knowing what they're up to, but they learn as they go. So you stated that you didn't know about the insurance, you didn't know about the blueprint. What other things that made it difficult for you? Like what things that you wake up every morning till today and like, man, it's so difficult being a business owner?
I think my thought was like the customer base was just gonna come, and it's just easy. Like when you open up, you have like this opening, and everybody's gonna come flock to you, and they're gonna want to see what's new, and it's not the case. You know, you gotta really go out there and talk to people and make relationships with people, and you have to go find those orders and find those customers. I think that was probably the number one thing that I underestimated.
Yeah. You thought you're going to open the door and people are going to walk in.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily like just, you know, come on in, but I thought that there was going to be more traction, and it just wasn't the case when we first opened.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people think they open up and people just walk in. You know, not slam busy, but they think that business is going to come in. You have to be out there. You have to put the name out. You have to do a lot of marketing. You have to do a lot of relationships, like you said. What do you enjoy about your business now the most?
What I enjoy about it, being able, like the reward factor. I just wake up, and if I do really, really great, then I it's a great feeling for myself because I know I did it for myself.
That's awesome. Now, you know what we did, what we did not do? It's one fundamental thing when we started this interview.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say what kind of business you in.
No, I have a ice cream / cookie shop / bakery. We kind of do whatever I think is gonna work. We have like waffles, primarily cakes, cookie cakes, but
I just saw on Instagram you posted a picture of a cake, like you said, for Halloween.
yeah,
I've been seeing you do a lot more into the cakes also.
yeah. The cakes are more profitable, and they're more of a necessity for people. I think, I'd say 25% out of 100%, they're going to want cookie cakes. 75%, they're going to want a birthday cake. So that was hard because I went from knowing nothing about how to make a cake to, in the past 2 months,
Mastering it.
Yeah, just doing it every day. And that's the thing that's rewarding too, is not knowing how to do anything at all, and then going and just putting my everything that I can into learning how to do it.
That's awesome. And you had to find the niche, obviously, because when you first started, you started as a cookies ice cream shop, right? But then I see that you added the waffles, then you added different ice cream flavors, and now you're doing the cakes and you're doing the cookie cakes. So you had to find what fits best for your location. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I remove some stuff every now and then. The waffles really, that started with, because we're next to the Chris's, which is like, they fry crackling. They fry a bunch of meat. And so the smell, and I remember.
Yeah, I think you need to say it again, because I heard crack, and they don't fry crack.
They fry crackling, like chicken crackling, like pork skins.
Gotcha.
And the smell was just awful. And I remember at Oceana, you'll have the waffle maker, and it helps with the smell. So that's how we started doing the waffles, and then I started stuffing them and selling them. And
yeah, I love your chocolate waffle one. This is my favorite.
The Nutella stuff one.
Yeah. I was gonna pass by today and pick up one.
I'm not there today.
Well, that's awesome. Now, when you started in business, one of the things that I talk to you often is the food cost, right? A lot of people don't realize that when you're making stuff and testing things, this is part of your food cost. Talk to us about it a little bit.
I think that's probably the number one thing that's an issue for me to get under control. It's so easy to make a bunch of stuff, and then you're not realizing what ingredients you're using, and you're not really focusing on, what you're using. You're just trying to make new products and test things out, and then you don't realize that you might have spent $200, $300 worth of products just testing stuff out. So what I do is I make sure that I account for everything at least, so it kind of gives me a little bit better of a measuring. I can measure better of what I use to test things out.
Your P&L looks better. That way you know exactly what you're spending on what.
But it's hard because things are expensive.
Things are very
expensive.
expensive.
They add up really quick. So
you just said something important. Things are expensive. Did you realize how expensive things before you opened your business?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I mean, I know when I used to help manage and stuff at Oceana, I would see prices of things, but most of the times it's just ordering and trying to keep in budget. And you're not really thinking about how significant it is when you're working for somebody. I mean, you are, but it's not.
It's not yours, which is, I mean, look, it's on this. People don't get it. People think that business owners just have tons of money to spend and waste, and people just don't understand until they become a business owner themselves. Did you think you're gonna become a millionaire overnight?
No, I knew that. I knew I wasn't gonna become a millionaire overnight. I mean, it would be nice, I think, for everybody, but I knew that. I think it cost a lot more money to run a business than I initially thought. I mean, there's things you kind of have to work out. Especially the food cost is my number one issue, just because it's things you give out for when you're trying to market and you're doing promotions, and
Absolutely.
You're losing a lot from that. But you have to, because
Yeah,
how you
the
get
good
your name
thing
out.
that you are super young. You are super like early 20s, and you have all this experience under your belt. So I can only imagine how you're gonna take it to the next level. As far as your next step, okay, now you're doing the cookie shop, cookie waffle cakes. You're doing it all, but it's a cookie shop. It's a bakery. Let's call it a bakery. And what's your next step after the bakery? What do you see yourself? I know you are an artist as a hobby also, but you really love doing the artist work. You want to tell us a little bit what you do?
Um, I do. It's a hobby.
But you're great at it.
Yeah, I mean, I love making music. It's something that I do just for like a stress reliever a lot of times. But I mean, I haven't. I do it on my own private time.
Right.
Nobody really knows about it. Nobody really talks about it. I don't really talk about it with anybody. But it's a dream that, you got to be a 1 in a million type of person to be able to pursue. I don't necessarily think that I would ever go that route just because of the time it would take, and not that I'm unwilling to put in the time, but it's a risky business that you have to be really great at, and there's a lot of great people.
In that business.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you see your next step would be?
Well,
Opening a second store, open a different business. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I would hope to open up another similar store, but with more options as food, because when I've talked to a lot of people in the bakery industry, they always have to introduce food because it helps with their profit margins. I might come in, somebody might buy one cookie, and, that's one. I might see 15 people a day, but if they're only buying one cookie, it's only, $3 a piece. So
Absolutely.
I've talked to a lot of people in the industry. They always introduce food or bakery style, like pastries and things that you can actually have a meal out of.
And the reason why you don't offer it right now, just due to your space limitation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, I don't have a lot of space. I have one little prep table that we do a lot out of. So that's why I don't offer it at that store. But I would hope to eventually open up like a cafe or something at a higher volume. But now I have more employees that we hired, and they're part-time now. But my biggest thing is trying to create a system to where it can be foolproof, and I can actually not have to. I can walk away.
Step away.
Yeah, not walk away, but step away and trust that they can handle.
While you're looking for other ventures.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. What is the biggest mistake you've done since you opened your own business? Besides wasting food.
Yeah, besides wasting food. That what I just said, basically, the not having systems and not having the proper procedures for employees. I just didn't have. I had a roundabout of what I wanted them to do, but it wasn't step by step, and there's a lot. Things really have to be foolproof.
You know the funny part that when you worked with us,
It was all I know.
you put the systems together.
I know. I did. Yeah, I did.
So why the hell you didn't put your own system?
I had, like I said, I had baseline systems, but I don't think I remember you always saying like everything has to be foolproof, and I was like
This dude doesn't know what he's talking
I'm like,
about.
yeah. But then I realized, I'm like, no, it really has to, like, people, you have to have everything laid out from step by step. You would think it wouldn't be that hard to make a cookie, but, you're putting it in the oven.
Absolutely.
But I've lost a lot of food by that too, just employees burning things and not checking, and I think that's probably the worst thing that I did, was not put step by step. I'd put, okay, do this, but it wasn't like how to do this, because I'm thinking in my head, okay, this is simple to other people that, and I realize it's my fault. It's not their fault.
You didn't show them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what challenges that you face every day, day-to-day operations?
Day to day. I would say the marketing aspect is, I mean, on operations wise, we're just trying to get more people in the door. We're a fairly small operation, I would say. So it's not too much there's not too much that can go wrong if, like I said, those systems are in place. It's not a huge operation. It's not huge volume. But getting people in the door is what we're trying to do, and that's probably the biggest concern right now.
Gotcha. Would you do anything different?
Would I do anything different? I would take it. I would be more consistent from the beginning, probably. Because now I've realized, not now, but, the past couple months, I'm like, yeah, this has been a minute and we got to really get it going, so.
Consistent as far as, consistent what, I mean, we got to be consistent in everything that we do, but in what aspect you think that you have to be consistent?
Just the consistent marketing and talking to people, and just with my scheduling and management of orders and things like that. I think it was just me in the beginning, so I would have a schedule, and there was times that I made mistakes and I forgot, and I would push some, like I didn't make them in time and didn't realize how long it would take me to make a cake, and I was running behind, so that's, yeah.
Gotcha. So you learn a lot as a business owner versus being an employee, because as an employee, you have a lot of systems behind you. You have a lot of people that supporting you, that even if you make a mistake, that responsibility falls on many different people.
Yeah.
But when you become a business owner,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility.
Yeah, and it hurts. It's like a knife in the heart when you see customers that haven't had the best experience. It happens, but it's different when it's yours. Yeah, it's like, oh.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's different for sure.
That's awesome. Hey, real quick. In this episode, I will be giving away a $100 gift card to the first 3 people who send me a DM on my Instagram at Rami84Bader with the timestamp of this promotion. Let's get back to the show. Well, what advice would you give to somebody who's going into business?
Be punctual and make sure that you have those systems in place and do your research. Read books. Just make sure that you have the knowledge before jumping into something, I mean, like I said, you'll figure it out regardless, but just make sure that you have some type of knowledge about what you're going into and doing.
Study the market, learn about it, know what you're doing. Absolutely. Well, awesome. How people can find you on social media? Or how can people find you all general, period?
I'm at 108 Harrison Avenue. That's where our shop is, Doing It Right. Our Instagram is Doing It Right NOLA. We have a website, doingitright.com. I'm on social media as well, Madison McElrath. But yeah, I mean, I'm there 6 days a week, so you can come see me.
I heard you're gonna open the 7th day since you hire more employees.
Yeah, maybe, but we'll see. We're working on the training for them still. So
awesome, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for coming, Maddie. I know you came all the way from across the lake to be with us. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you and good luck.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's it, baby.